Hey folks, Philly Boy J here, back with another video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys my recipe for seafood gumbo. I don't know how anybody else make their seafood gumbo, but this is the way that I make mine and I love it. Give the recipe a shot, hopefully you like it. What I like to do first when making seafood gumbo is I chop up 2 andouille sausages and I chop up a couple pieces of fish into small pieces, and then I fry them. So that's what I'm going to do first, fry my andouille sausage and my raw fish. Okay, so 2 things. I'm going to fry my andouille sausage and my fish over medium heat, and I'm also going to be using about a half a cup of oil. The reason why I'm using so much oil is because the oil that I use to fry the sausage and the fish is going to be the same oil that I use to make my roux. Okay, I think seafood gumbo is all about flavor, so I'm going to take the same oil that I used to fry my meat and I'm going to make my roux with that. Alright, so I'm going to place this under medium heat, medium high actually. I'm going to add my half a cup of oil. I'm using vegetable oil, by the way. You can even use some old oil that you may have saved from some chicken that you fried or something. I'm going to go ahead and add the sausage and the fish. I'm going to let it fry for about 10 minutes or until it's nice and brown. Okay guys, so as you can see, the fish and the andouille sausage are done. I just wanted to brown them a bit. So I'm going to remove the meat and I'm going to add flour to the oil to create our roux. Okay, and roux is just a thickening agent, okay, to thicken the gumbo. Alright, okay, so let's get ready to make our roux. You want the fish to kind of break up a bit because you want the fish to be in small pieces, shredded rather, kind of like your crab meat. Okay, so that's the way it should look. Okay guys, so here are the vegetables that I'm going to be adding to my seafood gumbo. Here I have some okra. And okra is a thickening agent as well. The slime from the okra kind of helps to thicken the gumbo. But I only add about a cup worth of okra, not too much. And here, because I like my seafood gumbo to be a little spicy, I'm going to add some chopped up jalapeno peppers, just a small amount, about a handful. Okay, if you don't think that you'll like spicy seafood gumbo, or you don't like spicy food, then you'll just leave that out. We're going to add the vegetables to the roux once it's almost done. So right before you feel like your roux is almost done, you're going to add the vegetables to the roux. Not the okra, all the other vegetables except for the okra. Okay? So I'm going to place my pot over medium heat. Into my pot, I'm going to add the oil. And I'm going to be using a little less than a half a cup of flour. I'm going to whisk this in. A little at a time. We're just going to stir this until it browns. You want your roux to be about a peanut butter brown. And make sure you stir it thoroughly, okay? So I'll get back with you guys once our roux is complete. Okay guys, so right before your roux is done, and mine is almost done, we're going to add our vegetables. And I'm going to reduce my heat to low. And this is pretty much the color that you want, so I'm going to let my vegetables saute about 3 minutes. And we're going to cut this off. I want it just like that. Perfect. So I'm going to cut the fire off now. Just for a minute. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add our okra. And the reason that I didn't saute the okra is because I don't want to cook out the slime. We need that slime to thicken the gumbo. Now I'm going to add a big tablespoon of minced garlic. And a little garlic juice. Get some in there. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to add about a half a cup of diced tomatoes. Okay. That much there. Okay, so here are the seasonings that I like to add to my gumbo. A few herbs that I use: a whole oregano, thyme leaves, basil. I use black pepper, 1 bay leaf, Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of sugar just to balance out the taste. Okay, so it's not too acidy and spicy. And some Creole seasoning. Okay, I love this kind of Creole season. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to add the andouille sausage. I'm not going to add the fish now. I'm going to add that last along with the crab and the shrimp. Now the reason why I cook this from 45 to 50 minutes is because I want to get rid of that flour taste. Okay, so we're going to add the seasonings first, and then we're going to add our broth. I'm going to use a few squirts of Worcestershire sauce, not much. About a half a teaspoon of basil. About a half a teaspoon of whole oregano. About a half a teaspoon of thyme. Herbs are strong, so I'm going to use a small amount. I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon of Creole season. There's salt in that, so don't use too much. Gonna use about 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 bay leaf. Okay, now I'm gonna whisk in my broth, and what I use is chicken and shrimp broth. Okay, cut your fire on medium heat, low medium. And we're going to whisk this in. And I'm going to follow that up by adding a little water. Okay. Okay guys, so what I have here are some uncooked shrimp. They already been deveined. So all you have to do is rinse them off and pour the tail off. Pour it off like that. Come off pretty easily. And pull off the skin. And I'm going to just sit these aside until I'm ready to use them. Okay guys, so this smells awesome. It's thickening up. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add our crab meat, our crab claws, and our fish and shrimp. Alright, this is the crab meat that I'm using. I always use Blue's lump crab meat. Okay. Going to add crab. And this is just going to add additional flavor to the gumbo. I'm going to add my crab meat. I don't add too much. I smell everything. The basil, the oregano, tomatoes. I'm going to add our fried fish that we fried earlier. Last but not least, we're going to add our shrimp. That's personally my favorite seafood. We're going to let this cook a little while longer, let it thicken up a little more. And you know it's done when the shrimp turns orange. That's when you cut it off, alright? So I'm going to cut the fire back on. I'm going to cut it on high heat this time. And I'm going to just let the gumbo continue cooking for about another, say about 15 minutes. And then we're going to cut it off and plate it. I also want to mention that you can add whatever seafood you want to add to seafood gumbo. Some people add oyster meat, shucked oyster. Some people add scallops. You can add whatever you want. When I'm making it for a big gathering, I usually add those things, but for myself, I don't really like oyster or scallops personally. So, like I said, this is my recipe and what I add. I'll get back with you guys once the seafood gumbo is complete. Okay guys, so our seafood gumbo is all done. What I'm going to do is just add a little fresh parsley. Sprinkle that in there. Look at that seafood gumbo. Smells so good. It looks awesome. It smells very seafoodish, if you know what I mean. I really hope you guys enjoy my version of seafood gumbo. It's really, really good. Give it a shot. I love it, and I hope you guys do too. Peace.